But during the escrow process, yeah, if you've hired us to be transaction coordinators, then we're explaining whatever needs to be explained to people.
Okay, good. So we get somebody who says, "Yeah, we'll do it." Sounds good. I could contact you. You'll contact them, do the write up of the contract and all the paperwork, and then if assuming it goes to that point. Otherwise, if they say no or something like that, like it's not ready at that point, then we still get charged $100 or 150, whatever it is, and
Yeah,
then
because we're going to put in that time and effort and work. And we've had a couple that go dormant. Like if we can't get signatures for 2 weeks, our DocuSign automatically sends reminders every 2 days. We do a manual check in a couple times a week just to check in with both the buyer and the seller. And sometimes they go cold for a while. Every once in a while, one of them comes back. But usually, if they're not signed, it's because they weren't verbally closed or there was too
right.
much time between the verbal close and the actual paperwork. The time kills all deals. Everybody knows that. So I've got one dedicated contract specialist and two overflow contract specialists. And our goal is our SLA, like we're going to deliver this within one business day, we'll turn that thing around.
What's an
Sometimes
SLA?
a service level agreement. So you're going to get your money back if we can't get that contract out in that time frame, one business day. So I mean, if you submit it after 5 p.m. on Tuesday, that means we're going to be delivering it during the business day on Wednesday. If you need, there's a rush, and sometimes I don't know what it is, but I think like Thursday afternoons we get like a rush after 4 p.m. Central. We get like two or three at a time, and so when somebody does that and they order the rush, they get put to the front of the line, and that's a 6 hours SLA between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8 p.m.
Okay. What's the additional cost for a rush?
Another 100.
Right.
That usually involves working through the evening or overnight or whatever to get it done.
Wow. That sucks.
I mean, a contract write up isn't like 6 hours of work. It's an hour to an hour and a half between the back and forth between people. Obviously, the SLA is affected by can we get a hold of you with questions, right? So if you submit a rush order at 12:30 a.m., we're not touching it until the morning, and that starts at 8 a.m. Central. I'm in Central, so everything goes by Central. One other thing, I would challenge that when we don't get signatures, it's because it was a really soft close. It wasn't really closed verbally.
100%. Totally understand.
So on our website, we've got on the top right, we've got a little menu with services. One of those services is Contract Writeup service. And so we take them in the order they're received, and that has a DocuSign form that you have to fill out. Name, address, as much information about the property as you can give us. If you're doing a subto, you really should have a mortgage statement to send to us. We can say that it's due within 5 days after close of escrow, but we've had deals fall apart because somebody didn't get a mortgage statement and they found out halfway through escrow when they got a copy that the person was like $10,000, $20,000 in arrears. Oh, you lied to me. Sorry about it. Well, this just busted the deal. Sorry about it. So I strongly recommend you get the mortgage statement early. We also do self-performed closing. So like we're running into a lot of FHA loans with down payment assistance, which has really strict transfer requirements. And so we're doing unrecorded contracts for deed because if you record the contract for deed, the down payment assistance can call the loan due. And if they call that loan due, the other one's get called due too.
Do you get on the phone with the clients, the sellers or the buyers and like explain the paperwork to them?
If you're talking about during the contract write-ups, if there's simple questions and answers, then yeah, we'll answer the phone or do amendments as necessary included in the write-up. But if you're wanting like a walkthrough of the contract and like in-depth Q&A or assistance overcoming objections about how Sub2 works and those sorts of concerns, then that's where we ask for that walkthrough add-on. But during the escrow process, yeah, if you've hired us to be transaction coordinators, then we're explaining whatever needs to be explained to people and bringing that documentation in.
Oh, all right. So you'll go over the contract because there's stuff that needs to be explained on the contract. I'm used to doing that myself,
Right.
but you'd say not something, but I'm not used to doing it with this paperwork, because
Mm.
it's outside of my traditional real
Yeah.
estate.
S- So that would be the seller walkthrough add-on.
I'm sorry. How much was that?
That's 100.
Okay.
So you're looking at 250 for a creative write-up plus a seller walkthrough.
It's a bargain, man. It's, that's cheap for that
So
kind of service. I think it's awesome.